Welcome to the Jill on Money Show. It's Tuesday, April 2nd, and we are here trying to help you make better financial decisions. We're trying to help you navigate all the big changes that go on in your real life, and we want to make sure you don't blow all of your money as you go through big transitions. If something is going on for you, get in touch with us. Go to our website, jillonmoney.com, click the Contact Us button. Let us know if you'd be willing to come on the air. We love when you come on the air, but of course, if you're shy, we do email episodes. Today is one of those episodes. And I don't like this subject already from Lynn. The subject is problems cashing in double E savings bonds. Oh no. Hi, Jill. Each of our two kids were given about $30,000 in savings bonds when they were little. Now they're in their early 30s and they want to cash them in. Our daughter cashed in all of hers in late 2022 with no problem. Our son, trying to cash them in now, can't seem to do it. He's tried several branches of his bank. They'll only cash up to $200 in bonds. His financial investment company wouldn't do it. He called the Treasury. They said they can mail him in. He first has to get them certified by a financial institution. Financial institutions won't even do that. What gives? How can he get them cashed? Also, why would anyone buy savings bonds now if it's such a hassle to cash them in? People, or maybe people don't buy them anymore. Thank you for assistance. I read your column in the San Jose Mercury News. Okay. So, if you are thinking about savings bonds, the first thing you have to know is that physical bonds are a huge pain in the butt. So anybody who buys bonds today, they're buying them at treasurydirect.gov. Okay. Now, there is a whole part of the website that says, how do you cash in a double E or an I bond? And, electronically, it's a lot easier. But if you have a paper bond, here's what I'm reading from this, which is you need to have a form. You have to fill it out. And I didn't think that you needed to have the bond verified. I thought that you had to have you verified, your signature verified. So I'm just going to go here with how do I cash in my paper savings bonds? If you want to cash it in with the government directly, I'm now going into this. Oh, I did this. I remember this now. I thought that you have to get notarized. I don't think the bonds have to get certified. I'm just looking at this certification. I certify that that's the notary. Yeah, these are notaries. This is not, I don't think, you may have gotten bad information. There is a document right on this website that lays it out. And I think that you probably can follow that. But I think you just need a notary to do it. But that's the best I can do. I just go to the source there. They are a pain in the neck, though. Okay, Beth writes, I will be getting a pension of $26,000 or about $200 a month. I was offered an opportunity to take a lump sum. Is there any difference if I take the cash minus 20% in taxes or if I roll it into a traditional IRA and then convert it to a Roth IRA? Oh, well, I'd much prefer to roll it into an IRA and then convert it. If you take the cash, you have lost the opportunity to make it a Roth IRA. So I would rather take it as a direct rollover and then make sure that you can convert it. I don't know if you have a traditional IRA account, but I would definitely do that unless you need the cash. All right, here is another question. This is from Daniel. I have a question about beneficiary IRAs. My wife has one. It was calculated with the required minimum distribution for her life expectancy of 84. She takes the RMD every year. The problem is the IRA investment income is more than the RMD. Does she have to take out the full amount left in the IRA when she reaches her calculated life expectancy age? Well, don't they recalculate the RMD every year? That's my understanding, which is why you have the table on which all of these assumptions are based. And it's called a uniform lifetime table. So what's supposed to happen is, I don't know how old your wife is, but every year, if you're doing that based on on a life expectancy standpoint, you would recalculate it every year. Now, the other question is it smarter for her? I don't know how big it is, but should she just be taking more money out and paying the tax that's due? Are we compounding the problem? I need to know more information, Daniel. Okay. This next email is from Dan, who just finished reading an article I wrote after the National Association of Realtors settlement. And Dan writes, a close relative in San Francisco just moved into a senior facility and needs to sell their home. Following the recent settlement of the National Association of Realtors antitrust lawsuit, how do you think this would affect someone considering selling their home? And that would be before and also after July, when the new commission structure is said to go into effect. Look, what I generally believe is that some people think that because there is going to be a reduction in commission, that selling prices will drop. I'm not so sure about that. Again, it may be that it drops a little bit, but what it's really going to mean is when this person is selling their home, you're going to be able to negotiate a commission, and it's going to be 3% or less. So depending on how hot the market is and what's for sale, there could be some savings on commission, and it might would mean a difference in sales price. I don't think so, though. I understand, though, Mark, this is interesting, that many of the people who bought homes in the last couple of years could be in this class action, part of the class. And so the $418 million that NAR is paying might get diffused among so many homeowners who bought homes in the last few years. So, Mark, maybe, just maybe, you're going to get a few shekels back from the purchase of your home, because it's going to definitely go back at least a year and maybe more. So don't spend the money yet, but it could be $6.
I was going to say, I may get a check for $5.
I like when you get those found money checks, though. It's fun. Sherry writes, the company I work for does not offer a retirement savings plan. Would you suggest investing in a Roth IRA for retirement? Yes, of course I would. I love a Roth IRA, but we want to know more about you. You can always use a brokerage account as well. All right, gang. So recently we had the crazy listener question about the father-in-law who had to be bailed out because he had this nasty habit of trading options, and the adult children generation had to bail him out. So this is from RC, who says, the subject, option trading father-in-law. Any future money to the parents should be contingent on a mental status exam of him. Bad financial decisions often precede diminished capacity diagnosis. Anger and hubris often go along. Oh, I love that. That's so smart. Okay, here's the last email of the day from Cindy. Hi, Jill. Love the show and all the information you provide. I have a question regarding how much and when to do Roth conversions. My wife is 65. I am 63. We're both retired and collecting Social Security, combined benefit of about $4,226 a month. We have Roth accounts that are worth $875,000. Rollover IRAs worth $3.8 million. We currently need $8,000 a month for expenses. Question: how much should we convert each year before RMDs kick in, since we have to consider IRMAA as well as taxes? Now, IRMAA, guys, this is when you have too much income, the government whacks you on the knuckles and charges you extra money for your Medicare services. So that amount of money for a married couple can be up to an extra $500 a month. Now, of course, that would mean you were making more than $750,000 a year, but it's a lot of money. It really bums people out. Let me get back to Cindy. They've got a house which is worth $900,000 with a $277,000 2.875% mortgage. They've got $50,000 in cash in the bank. So what is a sweet spot to shoot for with regard to taxes and IRMAA surcharges when doing these conversions? Any guidance you could provide would be welcome. Thank you. Well, Mark, they're 65 and 63. They're collecting Social Security. They don't have a ton of money in cash. You know, they've got $50,000 in cash. But if we convert for them, I'm not sure we have money to pay the tax that's due, because I don't really want to leave them with less than $50,000 in cash.
If that's it, the options are
Not so great.
Are quite limited.
So one way to think about this is to say, okay, I'm not going to convert because I don't have the cash available to convert. But I also want to start taking money out of these accounts, the rollover IRAs, so that we can start to limit the amount of money we pay in RMDs, right? We want to try to tamp that down. So I'm just looking at the beautiful Ed Slott 2024 Medicare income planning chart. And it says here that if you are married filing jointly and you earn less than $200,000, you will have a zero Medicare surcharge. So that would mean essentially that you guys could take, I mean, give or take, $150,000 a year from your IRAs. You'd pay the tax that was due, you'd live on the rest, and you'd bulk up the amount of money that you have outside of retirement. You wouldn't convert anything. And you could do that for a number of years. I mean, you guys are not going to have, you probably have 8 years here before you need to start taking, maybe 9, when you're going to have to start taking distributions. So you could take out $150,000 a year, pay the tax that's due, and maybe that's it. Because you don't have the cash available to do the conversion. So I think that's what I would do. Is that good enough for you, Mark? Well, I don't even have them paying any IRMAA as long as it's your modified adjusted gross income is $206,000 or less. And they only have about $50,000 of income.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best option for them. They're not going to get it all out, but they'll get a good chunk of it out.
Yeah, they'll get a good chunk out and they can see where things stand. Maybe they're not going to spend all of this money. Maybe $8,000 a month is really like a tippy top number. Maybe they'll build up their cash and maybe they'll build up an investment account. If they don't need all that money, then put it in an investment account and then you can start considering a conversion later.
Right. That's exactly what I was going to say. If they don't actually need the money to live on, then just invest it. And when it's time for RMDs, a decade down the road, then you can do conversions.
Yes. And also don't forget, by the way, if you guys are charitably inclined, you can also use those IRAs to do qualified charitable distributions. So that's another way to get money out once you turn 70 and a half. So keep that in mind. All right, I think a lot of good options. Oh, it's been a delightful show, and I'm so glad that you joined us. And we are always happy to do emails. It's always interesting, and we love hearing your stories. If you want to pass a situation, a question, a concern, if you want to comment on a past caller or emailer, just go to the website, JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and check the box if you want to join us on the air live. If you're on that website, don't forget to sign up for the free weekly newsletter. And my book is out in paperback. It's called The Great Money Reset. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. You think I came up with that tagline by myself? I did not. The Great Money Reset is based on our conversations with you guys. So check it out, especially if there's something big going on in your life. You can subscribe to this program on the Odyssey app or wherever you find your favorite podcast. If you would not mind, please leave us a rating and review wherever you listen. And of course, we like to remind you to do something nice for someone else today. We'll make that person feel better. And I know it's going to make you feel better. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.